stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I
Just
leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
I'll leave you alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again. I don't ever want to hear your voice. See you. Please,
what
God bless you.
See what that says right there? Can you believe he just said, I don't care what you want. I'm going to make you feel raped anyway. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. This is Cynthia Ortiz. It's April 17, 2023. So you can see what it's like to be terrorized and horrified by some freak, creepy guy that you don't like, and he just won't fuck off and leave you alone and go be normal. If you have power, you can just go be normal. If you have power, you can go find somebody that wants you. Instead of spending 13 years always being a wannabe, creepster, sitting around playing with your dolly like a 1-year-old little girl, watching TV, pretending. If you have power, you're busy. You have shit to do. So, when was the last time Mr. Perry was seen in Lubbock? And when was the last time he was seen in Lubbock with his family? Jacqueline, his wife, Matthew and Jordan, his kids, and not up in Oklahoma running his business out of strip clubs in Oklahoma. Trafficking. Mr. Perry's into human trafficking. He not just stalks, he hacks. He's cloned my phone. He types over my typing. Today he's typing over he'll ask me who his leaks are. Is it your family? Is it Al? Is it your pets? Is it Roswell aliens helping you? Is it shapeshifters? I mean, stupid stuff. Is it Medicare? Is it Cuba? Is it Peru? I'm like, oh my God. I'll call them and to ask them to see if it's them, and then ask them to stop stopping your crime. Your sex weirdo crime. Human trafficking is a problem. Sex trafficking is a problem. It comes with a life sentence. What opened this up was Mr. Perry, human rights violations. Him and David Roberson, who owns Dynamic Shot, Joe Chadwick, who owns Lady Godiva's, Mr. Powell, Josh Burson. We know some of them are involved in some of the crime. Some of them are involved in covering up the crime. Some of them are not involved in the crime, but they're helping cover it up. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck. That all is not up to me. But I'll tell you what, Mr. Perry, when we quote you, when we find out what you're trying to do before you do it, is that not a little clue for you that people don't like what you're doing? And so you're getting told on. And who's telling is not relevant. Why are you doing shit like this to anybody? You get caught when you do it to me. Every day for 13 years. What day is he going to be finished with his investigation? And they pull the plug and you guys are all in jail. And I don't have to live like this anymore. When you invade my privacy, when you contact me at all, when you cause a problem for me at all, we get more. We find out more. When he first told you, Mr. Perry's threatening, I'm going to starve you or you can take my bribe and lie. And then he went to, I'm going to false arrest you again. He'll go back and forth. He's threatened false arrest since the first time he did it. I'm going to put you in jail. You're going to sit down. You're going to sign my lie, my perjured affidavit that I wrote, not you, but you're going to put your name on it. And then you're going to go be trafficked to this dude in Houston who's a realtor that I sold you to. I've already taken half the money up front. And then I'm going to get the rest of it when you go, finally. Go. It's all about money. What do your kids think you're doing right now? I mean, how embarrassing for them. Do you give a fuck about your kids and your family? And what they're going to have to deal with long after you're gone? Do you not care how embarrassing your crime is? You're not some kind of ninja bank robber. You're a fucking creepster. Just the creepy one. Just, ugh. And you're not bait. I don't want you. If you liked women, you would do what women like. I don't go out with men who are creepy. I don't go out with peeping toms. I don't go out with cop killers. I don't go out with child pornographers. I don't go out with men who beat down women to feel tough. I don't go out with men who, unless they make sure I don't miss a meal. I don't do it. You're not interesting to me. I don't go out with boring, Mr. Delusional. I'm sitting in pretend world. So, Mr. Perry, we found out that you're in front of Judge Parker, Judy Parker, lying every day. You're in front of another judge lying every day. I don't know who. They won't tell me who. We found out, what is your interest in my contact lenses and my eye exams? It's really none of your business, is it? Mind your own business, bitch. Get your own life. Get out of mine. Get off your fat, lazy, perverted ass and go work. Go be normal. If you have power, you can. We found out about Mike Neely being drugged before anybody else said it. I emailed the Florida State's attorney in March 2020. He was drugged. They didn't take depositions till May. I found out about his attorney's legal argument, which was impossible. Wasn't that it wasn't just plausible. It's not even possible what he said happened. And we found out about your Huntington's disease because the first time I said, no, I don't want your BioLi money. Fuck off. My guy said, here's the thing. You owe her a legitimate debt. You give it back. Give back everything you've taken. And you get the hell out. You get Mike Neely home. You get that club full of paying normal customers. Because you ran all the good customers off. And you got your pieces of shit going in there. You fixed that. And because you thought you had a choice, how much more did we get? How much more intel did we get about your crime? You sit around all day terrorizing, horrifying, and everybody's sick and tired of it. And you really need to understand that, and you don't. Everybody's sick of you. Everybody's sick of this, sir. Poke and peep. Your guy makes fun of you. Poke and peep. He calls you poke and peep and pink penny pathetic Barry. Your guy calls you that. Your own people. I'm quoting somebody else. By the way, if I speak in the third person, I'm quoting another person. So over the weekend, they get recorded talking about my eye exam. And my eye exam is not your business. You shouldn't know when and if I have one. You shouldn't know where I go. It isn't your business. Get the fuck out of my life. When he said the first time, give back what you took, she's not going to lie for you. She doesn't have to. Nobody owes you a lie, sir. You follow the law like everybody else. Comply with the law like everybody else can do. If you have power, you won't have a problem with it, will you? People in Lubbock are like, when's the last time you saw Charles Perry in Lubbock? Gosh, it's been a couple of years. It's been a long time. When's the last time you saw him with his wife, Jacqueline? Even longer. Why is that? Why is he not in Lubbock where he lives, and why is he always in Oklahoma? Somebody else, I think, I'm not told who I'm listening to, but it sounded like somebody talking to Mr. Powell, and he said, I'm very concerned about Charles Perry. I just talked to him. And he was talking about Cynthia's family. And it sounds like he's not sure whose family that is. Those people are not his family. That's her family. He's not even supposed to know who they are. The allegations are stalking. I've never invited you to meet my family. You shouldn't be talking to them. I've told you and told you and told you. You stay the fuck away from my family, sir. You stay away from me. You stay away from my family. When you contact me, we find out more. When you contact me, we find out more because I fucking hate it. When you invade my privacy, we get more. Any other victim that has your people's names, Lucius, Calvin, who's bald and fat, Sanjay, your hacker, Geppetto, your witch, Beverly, Blankenship, Desiree, Calvin, I said Calvin, didn't I? Andrew, Jeremy, Brian, Reuben James, Sticky Richard, Lawrence. Who's Melanie? Who the fuck is Melanie? Who's Bettencourt? Who's Muffin Man? Who's Monique? Any other victim be able to rattle off names like that of people that you're involved with? Okay, it's different when you do it to me. The guys helping me said, you will give back what you took, and you will get the hell out of her life, and you don't starve her until she feels forced to take your bribe and lie. Or put her in jail until you force her, intimidate her, and bully her into it. She said no. No means no. I've said it every day for 13 years. You are not bait. You repulse everybody. You're repulsive to me and everybody else. Deviant men peep and hack and watch women and rape women and beat down women because you just can't keep up with everybody else. It is illegal to do that because people don't like that. When you do things people don't like, they don't like you. Nobody else has to be told this, Mr. Perry. Why do you? Most people just know. You're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on and told on and told on. You're a rejected fail. Too stupid to figure out how to just move on. You disgust everybody. If you liked women, you would do what women like. That does not involve watching us in the privacy of our home, broadcasting us on the internet, using our bodies to make a profit and for your entertainment. For that, you owe me $1,000 a day plus $2,000 a day for doing it without my consent. You can settle that in or out of court. I don't care. And we can wait till after your arrest. Okay? You don't get to sell humans. I'm not for sale. And I said no. And everything else after that is coercion. You're not to contact me. When you contact me, we find out more because I fucking hate it. I said don't do that. You're not to peep on me. When you peep on me, we find out more because I said stop it, you sick son of a bitch rapist. It's illegal to do that. It's nasty. You're breaking the law. You make everybody sick at their stomach. So we find out more. So, you know, imagine having to live like this. Somebody typing in your phone. And he actually thinks every day for years he's asked me, is it this person? Is it that person leaking or helping you? I've never answered that. Why would I? And it's like he wakes up in a new world every 5 minutes and keeps asking the same question he has never and never will get an answer to. We all want him gone. Nobody's going to help him. Nobody has helped him. My guy said, I'll call him and I'll help him after he gives back what he took and gets the fuck out of your life. We found out you have Huntington's disease because you thought you had a choice. We found out that I was trafficked to a guy in Houston who's a realtor because you thought you had a choice. We found out you go into Judge Parker's courtroom and lie because you thought you had a choice. What's this with the letter and some credit card or something I hear about? We sent her a letter with a credit card that's no good, but she'll call and activate the credit card, and then we'll know she got the letter. What letter? I haven't gotten anything. I haven't gotten any such thing like that. If I get something like that, it's going to be returned. I'm not, I don't know. You intercept my mail, you have it. I don't know what the hell that's all about. I don't want a letter from you. What they said, the cops investigating your sex trafficking, Charles, and your Peep and Tom problem, they're not in Oklahoma. What he said is you're going to give it back and you're going to get out. You don't have a choice. It's the law. So, we found out you have Huntington's disease. We found out you trafficked me before. You trafficked me. We found out names of your people because you thought you had a choice and you thought wrong. Being terrorized by a weirdo like this is awful.
Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalk me. That's why I moved. Leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you again.
What
I don't ever
happens-
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened-
bless you, but
what
please leave me
happened?
alone.
What's-
Please leave me alone. Please stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop.
All right, so they've been recorded talking about some letter that they sent with a credit card that's no good. But if you call, when she calls and activates it, he said, then we'll know she got the letter. We sent them all together in the same envelope. Okay, so I'll keep an eye out for that. And if I get it, now we know before, as always, like the McNamara email. Then we know before, so as always, what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it, and it'll get out everywhere. Okay? So that's what we're going to do with that. All right, so we got a lot more last night. You see that when we quote you and we would get names of your people? Found out you had Huntington's disease, found out you're lying in Judge Parker's courtroom, and one other one. I'm not told where or who. Where. Guess what? It wasn't up to you, was it? Nope, it was not. When you contact me, we find out more. When you invade my privacy, we find out more. When you cause a loss for me, we find out more. I'm repeating the same thing over and over and over and over. We say it, then we show you. Now, here's my disclaimer. Okay? Alright, there's that. It's been shown. Okay, so I have a busy life, Mr. Perry. I've got a lot of activities that I'm involved in. And you know that because you always try to screw everything up for me. So, I don't have a lot of time today. But this is, again, when I speak in the third person, I'm quoting somebody else. This is what was going on. I quit dancing, and I pretty much had to go back to it. I didn't have a choice. But we've gotten a lot of evidence of Mr. Perry's crime since I did, both times. So we have, we got Pinto came in to see me where I am. I moved from Lubbock in 2013 to get away from Charles Perry. I left town because he likes to ruin people. He threatened to ruin my business, then he did. I left. I was gone. Then I moved there to begin with because there were cops wanting to investigate him, and they wanted me to help get him elected. When you're talking and cultivate relationships, and you have to be patient. You have to cultivate relationships, and you have to, there's an art to it. I have the ability to do what they needed done, and when you're an accountant who sits in an office boring doing math all day, and you go in and you're an undercover cop, you can pretend to need your taxes done only a few times, and he's going to get wise to it, or so we thought, before we realized he really can't think past tying the shoe, and he probably wouldn't have never gotten wise to it. Then but it's easier if you got somebody who's running for office and he's out mingling with the public, shaking hands, kissing babies, chatting with people, thinking he's talking to a voter or talking to a campaign donor, potential one, and he's talking to a cop. And Mr. Perry has no filters and no impulse control, so no telling who he's told what to, right? They've all talked to our guys. They just didn't know that's who they were talking to. So, we get information nobody else has. Ask the Muffin Man. That's a nickname for one of their people. He thinks he's a weeble wobble. We're weeble wobbles. They like to say what they can get away with. Here's the crime we can commit and get away with. Here's the crime we can do. Here's what we can do and get away with, right? They like to brag. Okay, so I go into the club, and Pinto comes in and offers me $5,000 to sleep with Mr. Perry, and I'm like, ew, ugh. And he's like, just spend a few hours being creeped out by this guy, and you'll be $5,000 richer. He's pushing me, and I still said no. And anybody can see that on that website I just showed. It's right here. There's the recording. Comes to my work in Stillwater. Okay, I left. Then Mr. Perry made my life absolutely miserable and unbearable in the Dallas area. So I meet somebody I really like, Fabian, my manager. Mr. Perry starts causing problems there, butting into that. So I came to Oklahoma with my son, who was then 14, so that we could get away from Mr. Perry and not have any kind of conflict, no drama. No, Mr. Perry likes to make everything's a thing and everything's an ordeal, and he makes whatever's fun, he makes it unfun. He's that guy. So, or girl, I don't know what he is. We fucking really don't know. Because, you don't play with a doll all day if you're a man. And you don't beat down women if you're a man. Okay, here it is right here. Just sleep with him. Now he makes my skin crawl. I'm your caretaker. Now listen, you'll get richer. He'll be really nice, and he'll pay $5,000 for one night. Yep, that's solicitation of prostitution is what that is. He asked me about 3-4 times if I had a wire on. So you can hear the whole recording here, and then that's all the transcripts. Comes to my work in Oklahoma, where I live, and moved to get away from him. Be with my family. He's alienated me from my family. He kept asking me if there were leaks. Then they're recorded talking about getting the EPA to shut my cousin's body shop down. He's the causation. Mr. Perry's the causation. It's retaliation. You don't punish people for reporting any crime to police. You don't. Title 18 of the United States Code, 1512 and 1513, prohibits that. You don't do it. But to protect my family, I've kind of stayed away from them. Then we find out over the past few weeks, I haven't been able to go to work because Mr. Perry had another false arrest planned and my family there to try to talk me into being trafficked and murdered. I'll be dead in a week. The guy that pays for me, he wants his money. He took half of it up front, sold me to the realtor in Houston. When he delivers, he gets the other half, and I'll be dead in a week. After I've signed this lie, he wants me to lie affidavit he's got ready. Lie letter of apology. And then he thinks that ends the whole thing. He's told everybody who'll listen that's what he's going to do. We're going to put her back in jail, get her family to talk her into going, and tell her they don't want her here. Then she'll go to Houston. I'll get my money. We'll make her sign this letter of apology that I wrote. It's bullshit. And this letter of affidavit, it's a lie. More perjury, suborning perjury. And, because I'm telling the truth now, you want me to lie. If I was lying now, you wouldn't want me to lie, would you? Starve me into a lie, he says. I'm going to starve you until you lie. And he has at times done that, tried to do that. I went for 6 months where a lot of times I ate twice a week and I took a bath twice a week. And I've never had to live like that in my life. But when you want to traffic somebody, he's desperate. He's pathetic. He's told on, because when he contacts me, when he invades my privacy, when he does the crime to me, causes a loss for me, we get more. It's been that way for years. So, me being in a strip club did this. I'm getting evidence nobody else has. Because he's been doing this all his life and getting away with it until he did it to me. Everything changed. Alright, so when we get more, Mr. Perry, what goes through your head when we quote you? I mean, I've never told you who your leaks are. I've told you I'm not told that. And I wouldn't help you if I was. We all want you gone. Why can't you understand that? It's not hard. So that's what he's been trying to do. Everything else is to get to that end. Then once he has this letter of apology and this suborned affidavit, then he kills me and that's it. He thinks it's over. Wrong. Because every time he does something to me, every time he invades my privacy, every time he contacts me, we find out more. And he's forged a marriage license and a power of attorney to get into my financial information that he shouldn't be in. And find out if I have an eye exam and who and what and where. My eye exams are not your concern, are they? My family, you're not to contact them. I came here to be with them and have no contact with you. You've alienated me from my family, and I will never forgive you for that. My guy said, you fix that, you give back everything you took, people, money, everything, and you get out. And we found out you were in Parker's court lying. We found out about your apology letter and your affidavit. We found out you trafficked me. We found out your code names and your people, because you thought you had a choice and you do not. You don't. You don't know who I am. You don't know who I know. Okay, so this week, I'm back at the club, and there's about 3 girls always making every night $1,000 to $5,000 a night on stage. Unheard of. Unless you're a traffic victim. And that's payment for your prostitution or your drug trafficking. These men sell humans, and then they think they own them. Most of them are teenage runaways. These girls are pretty much that. I'm not. So they're on stage, and what's happening is David and Joe and all those guys and Lucius and Calvin and Charles are selling drugs and prostitution. And they're making an agreement with the guy. I'll get you a girl. She'll, do whatever vulgar sex act you want. It's $3,500. I guess that's the going rate. $3,500 for the night, or for a few hours, or however long it is. You're going to go into the club, you're going to throw it on the stage, and she'll meet you after work. Right? Or she'll get you your whatever drug. Because when they throw it on stage, now it's stage money, it's laundered immediately. Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we find out more. Is that what you want? Because you've had nothing else come from what you do but that. Do not contact me. I fucking hate it. Do not invade my privacy. It's nasty. It's vulgar. The more you do it, the more we find out. We get it before you do this stuff. I haven't been trafficked yet. We found out you have Huntington's disease because when he said you give it back, everything you took, and you get the fuck out of her life and you don't have a choice. You thought you did. You thought wrong. Get the fuck out of my life and do not contact me anymore. Do not. I fucking hate it. It's gross. You're gross. Okay, so what happened is I'm starting to catch this, and it's always the same 3 girls, and it's always different customers. It's not like it's her regulars coming in doing that, and this guy's rich. It's always different people, but it's the same 3 girls on stage. And one night, some guys walk in with $14,000. They had wads of cash. You could see it. I mean, we didn't sit there and count it, but they come in with wads of cash and said, we have 14 grand. And I said, okay, well, you got to pay the cover. It's $15. If you have $14,000, $15 is no problem, right? Wrong. They're fighting with me and arguing and fighting. And I said, listen, but we have $14,000. I said, listen, I don't care if you have 50. I don't care if you have 100. The cover charge is $15. If you have $14,000, why the problem with 15? Finally, he pays me. There's 3 of them. I walk over to another part of the room. The guy starts throwing money. He says, here, that's for you. Pick some up. So I picked a little bit up. He throws a little more. And then the girls get on stage and he starts throwing some on stage. And then another one comes over to the bar and talks to one of the owners. And he's like, we want some alcohol. And he goes, we don't have alcohol here. We don't serve alcohol at this club. And he's like, they are arguing about that. Everything was a thing. It's a typical Charles, Dave, Calvin deal. Everything's a problem. Everything's a drama. Everything's an ordeal. Everything's a thing. If it's good, they make it ungood. If it's fun, they make it unfun. Everything's a hassle. And so that's why everybody wants y'all gone. We can get information, you can't. Look at your results, look at ours. We say it, then we show you. When you contact me, you invade my privacy, you make a problem. You make drama. We find out more. Huntington's disease. Judy Parker. Oh, God. Okay, so, when's our eye exam? None of your business. Get a life. Then, so they're throwing the money, and another one's over arguing with the owner about alcohol. And then the owner goes, listen, you came in when we're about to close. So if you're not going to buy a lap dance or a VIP, you're going to have to leave and come back tomorrow at 7 when we open. Otherwise, we'll stay open, but you have to buy lap dances and VIPs. And they're arguing. They're giving him the runaround. And he's like, oh, well, we will. And he says, I'm telling you now, you have to buy something from the club, or I'm not going to let you, I'm not going to stay open. I'm not going to stay open 5 more minutes. I think he gave him about 15, and they didn't, get anything. So he finally said, okay, well, it's time for you guys to leave. You're more than welcome to come back tomorrow at 7. And this Sadie starts screaming like oh my God, like she's 2 years old. Screaming and throwing a fit. I thought she was going to start crying. Having a nervous breakdown. And she did the same thing over the 60 the guy threw on me. You can't take money from my customers. I'm like, oh, no, that's not, I'm sorry, sweetheart. When you're in a strip club, and you know this, guys are going to throw money where they throw money, and it is not your business. It is not your business at all. So where's this my customer? No, I'm sorry, that's not how that works. My customers. You can't take money from my customers. Okay, well, the reason she said that is because Traffic Daddy Dave sent those guys in to buy 4 girls for the night. She's supposed to come home with with $14,000 and give it to Dave so he can give her $50 or whatever pathetic amount these canned food guys pay. And so she's already short the cover charge. Then she's short the 60 he threw on me, so she's about to cry over that. Now, the owner's making them leave before they've had a chance to put the money on the stage so it's not laundered yet. So she's about to cry because we don't know what Dave does to these girls when they don't do what he tells them. So these girls are victims of crime, very much. They're not criminals. She's about to cry. She's having a nervous breakdown. So that's what the guy says. I'm sorry, but I know she's right, because nobody goes into a strip club intending to put $14,000 or $1,000 or $5,000 on a stage and get nothing out of that. Not a lap dance, nothing. They're expecting something. Or they wouldn't put that much money. And this isn't once or twice. This happens every night. Every fucking night. 1 to 5,000. And I'm going, gosh, I danced in Stillwater with girls who compete nationally on the pole and come in top 10. They make pretty good money on stage. It's not that. Not every night. Like this, like I'm seeing here, something else is this money is laundered money for something. What is it being laundered for? And I'm asking my guys, and they start checking. Yeah, okay. So, these are the guys that told us you have Huntington's disease. Mike was drugged. He didn't do it. Gene Mitchell is going to go into court and tell the most bullshit, bizarro story on the planet that isn't not just plausible. It's not even possible. Get in touch with him and see if you can testify for Mike Neely. Because he didn't do it. Charles David and those guys did it. They killed Chief Miller. They tried to kill Mike too. And when he didn't die, they did the same thing to him they did to you. Both of you are drugged. Both of you don't die. Both of you suffer the loss of your integrity of your evidence of that drugging or poisoning. And both of you have a false arrest based on a perjury submitted in a court of law. Both of you. There's your MO. There's your MO. Okay, so that's basically what the guy is saying. I'm sorry, but there's no way she's wrong. I know she's right, because nobody's going to throw 14 grand on a stage and get nothing out of it. Not a lap dance, nothing. Nobody's going to throw $1,000 on a stage and get nothing out of that. Not a lap dance, nothing. They're getting something somewhere. The girls leave. 4 of the girls left, including that one, the one that cried and threw a fit she's acting like a 2-year-old. And you're like, what? Something. Why is she acting like that? Well, if you're scared to death because your traffic daddy is going to beat you because they're short $60 that went on another girl, not involved, and the cover charge, and it wasn't all laundered, you might be scared to death, though, and you might act like that. Right? Now, if they told her to act like that just to cause drama, they're still going to get onto her. They're still going to give her a beat down if she doesn't do what they say. That's what they do. They're trying to starve me into a lie. We're going to starve you until you lie. I hear it all. We're going to get you. We're going to take. Guess what? We just got what you just said. We do every day. Mr. Perry, you're not all there. Wake up, cuckoo bird. We have Huntington's disease. You have Huntington's disease. Makes you crazy. You got psychosis. You're psychotic. Diagnosed psychotic. You're diagnosed delusional. You got hallucinations and paranoia and impaired cognitive reasoning. When you do the crime to me, what happens? You don't get a date out of that. You don't get information out of that. You don't have a cover-up. Your crime's never been this uncovered. You get told on and told on and caught and told on, and nobody will help you. It's been that way for 13 years. So we're getting. Right? You want to threaten me? Do it to my face, princess. Grow some balls, get your football helmet on, and do it to my face. And don't you ever again do it behind your phone. Grow a pair. Grow a pair and act your age. So, it's the same thing every day. You contact me, you threaten me, you start asking who your leaks are, you start asking for my help. We just get more, sir. We just find out more. We get more intel. And they're going to use that to get convictions in a court of law in your criminal case, so we don't have to be bothered by you anymore. Yep. Same and different before and after. We get it before you do it, not after. Ask Lucius how many other victims have his name. Ask Calvin, who's bald and fat. How many know he's bald and fat? Who have not met him? I've not met him that I know of. We're getting that from police recordings, sir. Yep. You invade my privacy, they invade yours. They have a court order. You got a weirdo problem. And no impulse control. I don't like you. No one does. We can get information. You can't. Yeah, nobody will help you. My guy said, I'll call him when he gives it back and he gets out of your life. None of them bother you ever again. You're not to contact Cynthia or her family in any way, shape, or form, directly or indirectly. She's not to have her privacy invaded at all. You don't contact him. You don't invade, and she's not to be broke again and have to ask for help. Period. You respect the law and her, or I'm going to do it for you. You're going to get handcuffed and you're gone. And now I've got so much to get a conviction, you're buried in it for a good long time. There's no deals. They don't need it now. You had a chance for a deal a long time ago and you didn't want one. So there's not one now. So we just found out more. That's what he said. Nobody's going to go in a strip club with $14,000 or $1,000 or $5,000 and throw it on a stage and get nothing out of it. They're going to at least want a lap dance. $25 lap dance or $100 VIP. With 14 grand, you can get a $400 VIP and a couple of them. So then the next day, today, this was last night, The next day, and this conversation was recorded, and he said they had too many people in that club helping him trying to gaslight her, and that doesn't work on Cindy, and he knows that. She said it. She's not, you can't gaslight her. She already knows. That only works if you don't know what they're doing. And he was talking about, I don't know if this girl, Sadie, reacted out of fear because David, she comes up short. She didn't get a chance to launder it. She's scared of David. What's he going to do to her? Beat her? Is he going to beat her so he feels tough guy? Beat a little girl? Is he going to punish her with starvation? A little girl? Huh? Mr. Perry? Fuck the hell off, weirdo. See that where that's popping up? That's not supposed to pop up. Charles is doing that. Hacker Charles. Can't get a real life date. He thinks that's a date right there when he does that. I mean, that only happens when I'm doing podcasts and stuff. Yeah. I'm here. I can see you. Who's telling on me? I'm gonna get you. Who's telling on me? Who's my leaks? Is it Al? Is it your family? Is it your kid? Who's telling on me? Charles, you're so bizarro. You have no chance of anything with me ever. And I said no to the coercing into the trafficking. It's all about money. You want your money. Everybody says that. We all know that. You're not fooling anybody. You got delusional, diagnosed whack job, cuckoo bird problems. You're about 10 years past a good time for the funny farm. So we have all this. Of what you do every day, you get what out of that? Do you get a date? Not a real one. You've had no date. No woman's trying to hold your hand. No woman sits on your lap. You're sitting there with your little dolly, pretending. How pathetic. That's not what men of power do. You can't go into a bar and find a date. You got to buy a date. It doesn't. Where's Jacqueline when you're doing that? The betrayal to your wife, sir, and your kids. How embarrassing. Dear God. He's done that for 13 years in Oklahoma. 9 years in Oklahoma. So his attorney says to him, if she goes to Houston now, she already knows you trafficked her. You went into court and denied it. If she goes to Houston now you got a perjury charge, and I could be disbarred if anybody finds out. Guess what? Everybody knows, Mark. Where you been? Because when your client invades my privacy, my guys invade yours. They have a court order. You have a weirdo problem. You can't control it. No impulse control. Very low IQ. Diagnosed, can't reason. So, and people are asking, what about dynamic shot guy owner? What about the guy that owns Lady Godiva's? What, they don't diagnose with Huntington's disease too, are they? I mean, they're making the same decisions that Mr. Perry is. So I don't get it. I really don't. So these 4 girls leave and come back the next day and tell us that they all went to Waffle House and the money was thrown in the parking lot and the homeless got it. And we're like, how cute. They think we're stupid. I pretended, oh, really? Oh, good. Okay, well, that's interesting. Wow. I don't fucking believe a word. But I'm going to pretend right now that I do. They unfortunately probably had to go, do the prostitution thing. Dave gets all the money. And she probably got 50, but I don't know. Looking at her car, I'm telling my guys, I'm like, I'm not seeing drug abuse here. I'm not seeing a lot of drug use. I'm seeing a clunker car, and so he's getting the money. These girls are not getting any money. Trafficked. They're trafficked. Yep, they're being prostituted is what they're doing. You're the pimp. So, of course, Oklahoma City police talk about it. They have a special ops team or a task force for trafficking. You see Oklahoma City putting out a lot of arrests for trafficking. You see nothing from Tulsa. Not a fucking thing. So we figured all this out. Within 5 weeks, I figured this out. I'm telling my guys what I'm seeing. They're starting to look. I mean, we're a team. We work together. So you're seeing things happen you've not seen before, right? And so I've described the whole thing here. And they're using me as an example, because if you're 20 years old and you see an older woman who's also, they're trying to traffic me, they're going to starve me until I lie. then you see that, you know, you're going to be scared. You're going to be intimidated. And they're trying to use my family to coerce me. They're trying to, you know. But the thing is, I've got emails going back last summer to people talking about Mr. Perry's going to use her family to coerce her and kidnap her and make her be trafficked against her will. He's going to use her family to do it. That's what these guys do. They want to destroy every system of support they have in place. They want to take all their personal documents. And they want to take all their money. So there's just nothing left. And they're a lot easier to traffic that way. But you're caught when you do it to me. When you contact me, we find out more. When you contact me, sir, we find out more. Your guy said when he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. Come on, Slew. When you contact me, we find out more. When you invade my privacy, they invade yours. You reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. So we got all that this weekend, and they're talking about my eye exam, and I'm like, yeah, that's not your business. Go away. Get a life. Get off your fat, lazy-ass pervert, and go get a life. You have power. You can go be normal like everybody else, can't you? Mr. Perry, when you contact me, we find out more. Is that what you want? We get. We take. Threaten me to my face, coward. Threaten me to my face, you sick little coward. Okay? Threaten me to my face, coward. Put your football helmet on. And you're going to have to yell it across the parking lot because I'm not going to let you get near me to see if you've got a syringe or a chloroform rag or, you know, all the weird little murder weapons you like to use. I'll beat the hell out of you. You get anywhere near me, I'll beat the shit out of you. You're not wanted. You're not loved. You're told on and told on and told on. You're creeping me out. When you creep me out, we get more. Is that what you want? When you contact me, we get more. Is that what you want? We find out more about your crime. When he first said you will give it back and you will get out, or I'm going to do it for you. We found out you have Huntington's disease. You've perjured yourself in front of Judge Parker and Judge Kirkendall. We found out you went duck hunting with Judge Cummings. Because you thought you had a choice. Yeah, we found out you trafficked me. We got people's names. We got your code words. Because you thought you had a choice. And the more you contact me, the more we get. Cause and effect. Same and different. It's different when you do it to me, but it's the same every time you do it. We get the information before you do it, not after. Because I've not been trafficked yet. You're desperate. You're pathetic. You just want that money. And I said, no. He said, and I said, you give back what you took from me, and you get the hell out. Or he'll do it for you. Then we say it, then we show you. And you thought you had a choice. And you don't. And all the stuff, the intel that they're getting is going to be used to get a conviction against you. Period. Why else would they do that? And nobody's going to tell you who the leaks are. And if you think you got, somebody helping me, call them and tell them stop stopping my crime. I'm not going to, we all want you gone. When you do things that are criminal and that hurt people, they don't want you around anymore, and you gotta know that. We shouldn't have to tell you. You don't see other people acting like you, do you? We are all busy. Why aren't you? Give it back and get the fuck out. She's not to have her privacy invaded again. You don't contact her or her family ever again. And she's not to be broke and have to ask for help ever again, period. And if you're not going to get it, then don't complain when we talk about what you just said. Been that way for 7 years. That you know of. Right? I have power. I matter. You don't. I don't have power. I know people that have power. Mr. Perry. I know people that have power. And they've been after your ass, kicking your ass as hard as they can for a long time. You're not wanted. You're just a little wannabe. Never the one wanted. And that's the best you can ever do, because you're too stupid to just move on like everybody else. Just fuck the hell off and move on. Now, what we also said is get Mike Neely home, and you didn't. So now you have a reporter, 2 reporters. One of them said, had Cynthia testified for Mike Neely and he was still found guilty, then it would be easier to believe them and not you. But that's not what happened. They intentionally, she's broke. So he's carrying out this threat that he made. He's going to starve her until she lies. What's she supposed to lie about? That she knew Mike Neely was drugged, or that was confirmed months later in depositions? What the fuck does he think she's supposed to lie about? And, so, because she didn't testify, now we know they did it, that they're lying, and you guys got this right. They did that murder, not Mike. Second of all, another reporter said, had they done what she said in March 2020, and they had helped Mike get home, and she continued to assert that they killed Chief Miller, we would say that she's wrong, if not a little nutty. Even if they did do it. But if they're helping Mr. Neely get home, that we back the blue, we're going to help this guy get out of jail and get home. Clearly, he didn't do it. You can't beat someone to death and hit them so hard back and forth like they're in a car crash that their head comes off their body and then end up with not a mark on you while you're unconscious and dying of drug overdose. That's how he was found. He wasn't found knocked out after having been in a fight, a drunken brawl. He was found overdosed on opioids. And they treated him with Narcan, and he came to. And that was taken in the May deposition, but I said it in March 2020. So what was I supposed to lie about, Charles? You corrupt piece of trash. Abuse of office, abuse of power is a problem for you. You're getting ready to have to hit, that's going to hit you between the eyes pretty soon here. Yeah, that's not power. Power is in service to others. So she said, had they gotten Mike home and said, we back the blue, let's get him home. Got some schmuck out of that meth bust they just did, or something, you know, somebody that probably had it coming, you know, but that's not what they did. So now they can't say, yeah, we didn't do it. See, we helped Michael get home. So there's no reason to believe that we did this. That's not what they did. Instead, you got Cynthia's kept from testifying. She's about to starve to death because they're trying to retaliate against her. And he's found guilty on a hypothesis that doesn't even make sense. So we know they killed Chief Miller, and she's right. Y'all are right. You got it right. So had they just done what she said, that wouldn't be the case. But they didn't. So there's that. He said, get the club full of paying customers who are normal. Just normal guys, normal dudes, because you ran all our good customers off. So you could just keep your people in there, and you can control those girls with, you wouldn't have money if we didn't send our people in there. And that's bullshit. Get the club full of paying customers, normal paying customers. Don't make them prostitute, and let's just see how much money they go home with. Don't make them give you any money. Give it a month, give it 30 days. Let's see how much money those girls go home with. Yeah, you don't get a cut. You don't prostitute them out. Just let the club have normal customers. Fill it up with normal customers, because when you ran everybody off, guess what's going to happen? You're going to go to jail for getting in my money, my pocket, in my wallet. And those girls too, and some of the shit you're doing. And Mr. Paul can sue the hell out of you. So can I. So can Sadie. So can those other girls. We're all going to sue the fuck out of you. Okay? And this judge, after your criminal case, go try it by another judge. Buy your way out of that one. I said, you give it back and you get out. My privacy is not to be invaded. You don't contact me or my family in any way, shape, or form. You don't take my money and make me broke. Because if you do, these guys will kick your ass. You're going to stop, or they'll do it for you, princess. And every day that you have it, we get more and more and more to build a criminal case. So you're all buried, and that's it. We're done. We don't have to put up with this shit anymore. Okay? You're not wanted, you're not loved, you're told on and told on and told. It's been that way for years. They're letting it build up, and they're going to bury you in it. And you ought to know that by now. Don't ask me who the leaks are. I've never helped you. Why would I start now? You're about to be gone. I will get paid, and I won't have to lie, and I won't have to be, go suck all your friends, prostituted. Sorry, it's vulgar, but that's sex trafficking. And I won't ever be broke again. So, that's what has gone on this week. I won't have there won't be somebody around to play with a doll, and try to contact me and pester me, and when he takes her money and pesters her, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. You know what Charles does? Let's do it more. I'm gonna get. Let's do it more. Okay, everybody, let's do it more. Who's telling on me? How'd she find out again? Every day for a decade, he's done that. And that is the best he can do. It will never be any better than that. It's embarrassing. And your kids gotta live with that. Ugh. They're stuck with that long after you're gone. Yuck. How cruel to do your kids that way. How awful to do your kids that way. That they're strapped with your weirdo for the rest of their lives long after you're gone. Creepy Chucky. So, we got more because you thought you had a choice. Alright? And it'll be that way again tomorrow and the next day until you're in jail. That day gets here, closer by the day. Closer by the day. Don't contact me, Mr. Perry. I don't like it. Charles, don't contact me. I don't like it. Charles, when you contact me, we find out more. Charles, don't contact me. I don't like it. Leave me alone. Charles, don't contact me. I fucking hate it. Leave me alone. Charles, don't contact me. I don't like it. We find out more because I fucking hate your contact. Don't contact me. Do not contact me. I don't want to hear from you. Listen, it's the same thing.
Anymore because you stalked me. That's why leave me alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you.
What
I don't ever
happens?
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
What
God bless
happened?
you, but
What
please leave
happened?
me alone.
What's
Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
No, I don't. Just talk
leave
to
me
No,
alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me alone.
happened?
Please leave me alone. Stop following me.
You won't call the cops.
Stop. I don't. Stop
that.
stalking me. Please, I can't live here anymore because you stalked me. That's why
No, I don't. Just talk
leave
to
me
No,
alone.
I will. You talk to me for 2 minutes.
No,
and leave me alone.
0 minutes. I don't want to ever talk to you. I don't ever
happens?
want to hear your voice to you. Please,
what
God
happened?
bless you, but
What
please leave me
happened?
alone.
What's
Please leave me alone. Stop following
You
me.
won't call the
This make you feel? You're filming my father and my fucking sister. How does this make you
is that the
feel?
one that put all those scratches on your arm? You want to see the
Scratches?
pictures? You want?
I got
I
scratches.
can show you the pictures right now.
No, I want you to leave my family fucking alone.
Keep hanging outside of there.
Monkey, hit the road. Dude, I promise you, you're gonna get yours and you're
I
gonna
don't give
get
a fuck. You can bring whoever the fuck you want.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna take. I'm like, yeah, I just quoted you. Look what we got. Look what we took. It's that way every day. Go ahead and threaten me to my face, princess. Quit being a coward and a pussy. Do it to my face. Or shut up. Quit acting like a girl. You're strapping your family with that. You need to take your little dress off. You feel pretty in that dress you wear? Sitting there playing with your doll. You and your doll have a matching dress? Act like a man. Grow a pair. And act like a dude. And a stalker is going to have pictures of the victim everywhere they go. Stupid. I got pictures of you. Perry does the same thing. I'm gonna get you. Okay, whatever. She's trying to say to him, do you see how uncomfortable it is for someone to always be taking pictures of you? Do you like that? What's this fucktard say? I got pictures of you. Your sister Scratchy. You want me to go get him? Oh my god, wow. So, yeah, can't reason with a crazy person. You can't. He didn't even make sense. And he totally missed the point she was trying to make. Charles does the same thing.
That's okay. You're gonna
You can
fight
bring
that
the
a
fucking
threat?
army. I don't give a fuck.
This make you feel? You're filming.
Stop. That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can
alone.
do all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Stepdad's been raping you since
Leave
you
me
were 12
alone.
years old.
Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh my god. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm curious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave.
My eye exam doesn't concern you, does it? What she's wearing doesn't concern him, does it? Nobody asked you what you think, did they? What'd they say? Leave me the fuck alone, like a bazillion times. If you were smart, you'd have got it the first time. One time ought to be enough. I said no, leave me alone. Act like a man, grow a pair, and move on like the rest of us do. Keep up with everybody else. In a civilized society, you deviant fuck.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Leave
You
me
can do
alone.
all you want.
I don't want proof of this. Please leave me alone.
Hey men, leave women the fuck alone. When they're in public, when they're doing anything, you don't have the right to their attention. You don't have the right to step into their personal space. You don't have the right to them. Especially if they're making it very clear they don't want to be talked to, but even when they're not. Unless a woman is giving you enthusiastic and continuous body language and signs that she wants to talk to your ugly dumbass, then leave her the fuck alone. Find a date a different way. Okay? It's not clever. It's not cool. It's not cute. It's garbage. It's absolute garbage behavior. And you're a garbage person if you do it. I don't care if it's in public. It doesn't fucking matter. You don't have the right to her, and you need to leave her alone. And this is bacon.
Okay. And I'm going to say this too again one more time. It's not like it's not been said before, over and over and over and over. I don't like men who are creepy. I don't like peeping toms. I don't like little princesses that got to beat down women to feel tough guy. You're not a real man. You're a bitch. And you're pathetic. If you have to beat down a woman to feel tough, there's something wrong with you. Because most men are not like that. I am 53, not 12, and not 20. I've met a lot of men. Lots and lots and lots of men. Professionally, I've dated a lot of men. Most men don't act like you. They don't do it. It's deviant and illegal for a reason. That means people don't like it when you act like that. So they made it a crime. You do it, you go to jail. Okay? It's not how you get women to like you. It's not how you get a date. I don't go out with a man unless he makes sure I don't miss a meal, and he's chivalrous. That means he takes the heavy off me. He doesn't burden me. So you're not my cup of tea, and this isn't about a date even for you. If it was, if you liked women, you would do what women like. You don't. You do what deviant men like. So everybody's kind of tired of hearing your bullshit story. What this is about is money. You took half up front. Yeah, I can't get the other half until you deliver. You get more desperate by the day. And I said, no, I'm not going to be trafficked. Fuck off. You fucked with the wrong people this time. When you fuck with me, you don't get your date. You don't get a cover-up. You don't get a lie. You don't get information. You get told on. We get information. It's been that way, the same thing, day after day after day after day after day, for a decade. You dumb fuck. Look at the pattern here. Look at the history. And it'll be that way again tomorrow. I said no. Coercion is a very serious crime. Witness tampering is a very serious crime. Victim tampering is a very serious crime. You're fucked. Because I've quoted you. We found out you have Huntington's disease. Because you thought you had a choice. We found out you lie in Judge Parker's court. Because you thought you had a choice. We found out you took Judge Cummings duck hunting. Because you thought you had a choice. I found out I was trafficked before, not after. And your little lie affidavit. And Mike was drugged. And his attorney's legal argument before, not after, because you thought you had a choice, and you thought wrong. It's not up to you when we get that stuff. It's up to my guys, and so will the end of you, and how it's up to them, not you. So, I mean, we're done repeating ourselves. We're done. I mean, you can't fix stupid, and you can't reason with crazy, right? So we're done trying. You do what you do. There's your shovel. Dig away.